That right there, that's the Simpson Desert, and we are here to finish what we started. In order for me to do that, I'm going to conquer that right there. Big Red, the most infamous sand dune in Australia. I would argue that we'd be the only one in the desert right now. We'll have the entire Simpson Desert to ourselves. We're here in the shoulder season. With that comes a risk. You've got to be prepared for things to get a little bit spicy. Tonight, we're eating a camel's hump.
Tom is stressing. Wish us luck, mate. Oh, here comes the leak. Here we go.
I'm about to go full send. This is off-grid. A week ago, we rolled out from the spectacular beaches of Bundaberg.
Look at all the bats!
In search of the ultimate adventure route to the red heart of Australia, packing in as many outback roads, remote camps, and hidden gems as we can stuff into a 1600k route to Birdsville and the edge of the Simo. Last episode, we finished up in the tiny little town of Stonehenge, where we enjoyed some proper outback hospitality, thanks to the legends at the Stonehenge Hotel. The roads out here close at the drop of a hat with the first sign of rain. While we wait for an updated road report to the west after overnight storms, we're taking the chance to get some elevation and check out the country ahead. Rightio, we've just turned off onto a little four-wheel drive track that we got told about by Grant in the pub last night. He said it's really worth doing. John Egan. It's called the John Egan Pioneer Drive. Could be a little bit slippery in spots, but let's give it a go. For Liv and Tommy, this trip is the biggest shakedown they've had yet for their new Monster F250, which they've built up with all the fruit and some serious under-the-bonnet upgrades to tackle heavy towing and touring. And today the F-Truck is getting its first taste of being locked in low range. Stonehenge marks a real change in terrain as we push towards desert country, as we leave the trees and hilly terrain behind us in exchange for the iconic red of the Australian centre. Just stopped with a bit of elevation here, which gives us a chance to view what is very exciting as far as I'm concerned. Just the start in the distance over there, you can just start to see a bit of red soil country, a bit of red dirt, a bit of red sand. Because of course we're heading west towards Birdie, the start of Simpson Desert. And that right there for me, as far as I'm concerned, yep, that's where the country starts, out there. Some might say the country has started just a little bit too early. What do I mean? Check this bloke out.
Tell you what, folks, this is the single one reason that I own a four-wheel drive.
I'm getting in my car.
What?
God damn!
Just getting my Graham on.
The overnight rain gives us a chance to witness a rare local event, which the guys at the pub reckon we just got to check out. Have a look at this. Stunning. They haven't seen meaningful rain out here for better part of 8 months. The last 2 days, they've had enough rain for this river course to actually run through here. The country's just booming with life. I mean, this is the end of a long, dry spell for the animals out here, and the locals alike. Kangaroos, wallabies come through. The number of emus we've seen on the road. Even the locals will come down here after rain. And just up behind me here, it's a bunch of big natural rock pools. They're quite deep. The locals get in there, have a couple of beers, go for a swim. So good to see. This is the lifeblood of outback Australia. Without this water, without this rain, gee whiz, it'd be hard out here. That's good. That's real good. Despite the rain, she's still pretty warm out here. Absolutely sensational. Soon enough, a road update hits the wires and the news is good. The road onto Windora and beyond is open, so we're going to push on. Well, talk about country hospitality, the little town of Stonehenge. I'll be back.
Yeah, that was an awesome little town. How good was that pub?
Stonehenge pub. Put it up there. I'm going to put it up there with your top 5. Absolutely loved it. Grant and Tom are doing a fantastic job. For us, we're going to keep pushing west. We're getting closer, but we've still got a fair bit of ground to cover, so I reckon we just buckle up, do a few Ks. I reckon we try for a river camp and see if we can't capitalise on a yabby or two. And then we're really going to start getting into that sand dune country, which I'm very, very much excited about.
Mate, river, camping, yabbies, red dirt, let's go. I'm excited.
That's what I like to hear. Follow me. Outback Queensland has got to be one of the more sparsely populated places on the planet, stretching over 900,000 square kilometres from the tip of Cape York all the way down to Birdsville, it's home to less than 80,000 people, or approximately one person every 10 square kilometres. For travellers like us, that means huge caves across stunning empty landscapes. And as we push west, the red sand is coming up to meet us. You diesel drinkers back there got a copy?
Yeah, copy, mate.
We have transitioned very radically and quickly from outback into red dirt country. On our right is it's only tiny, but that's our first little red sand dune. You'd expect a lot more, but that right there is your first one.
I thought you were going to tell me that was Big Red.
No, you... Just you wait. Big Red is, big for a reason. A couple of squeaky cows on the road up here too. The old bovine here, he's not moving. Look at him.
We took a bit of a risk taking this trip without having our bull bar and spotties on yet, but it's just one of those things. We're just waiting for it to be manufactured and then we're good to go. So here's what it is, though. You just got to run the risk sometimes if you want to go out and do the trips.
It's not one of those things I'd say, no, I'm not going because I haven't got a bull bar. You just drive to the conditions, go a bit slower, maybe reduce your nighttime driving, but never let the lack of equipment stand between you and going on a trip. The outback of Australia has drawn adventurers for as long as humans have had legs, and up ahead is a little reminder of some of the Aussie history in the area. Well, this looks like a pile of rubble, and to be fair it is, but stick with me, it's a tale worth the telling. In 1865, a bloke by the name of John Costello bought some land just over there. One day he was out exploring, he sat down here, boiled his billy, and while he was waiting for his billy to boil, he carved his initials, JC, into a tree. Tree's long gone, but that tree served as a marker for people coming back and forth along here. Because of that activity, a pub was placed right here, and it was called the JC Hotel. It was a very popular pub. All the stockmen from the area would frequent the pub every single day, spending all their money, and as you can imagine, getting on it. So as history says, station owner over here purchased the pub, ripped the roof off it, and because the pub was made of mud, the rain, wind and sun tore it to the ground, so his stockmen couldn't come here and drink beers anymore. And I reckon there's a lesson to be learnt from that. Never tell your boss where you're going on your lunch break. If you caught the first half of our adventure, you'll remember that this part of the world once ran on wool. Feeding factories like the Wool Scour we checked out back in Blackhall. And now Liv and Tommy are in luck, because I've tracked down a local delicacy that's a throwback to a bygone era. Rightio, before we have lunch, a very quick history lesson. As we know, back in Australia's golden past, wool was worth an absolute fortune. So much so that the sheep itself, the meat, didn't even come into consideration. There was no way you were going to kill a young lamb in order to eat it, because it had so many years of wool growing capability in front of it. In fact, if you wanted to eat sheep, you had to eat a very, 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 very old sheep, because it no longer could produce good wool. The meat of a very, 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 very old sheep is called mutton. Lucky for us, I happen to have a tin of colonial corned mutton. And for lunch today, the kids are going to come on over and we're all going to have mutton on stale bread.
Look at the fat on top.
I don't know if I can do this.
Come on.
I'm going for the smallest piece.
Nice. I'm going to get the bit with the jelly on top.
All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3. You folks at home are missing out on one key element, and that's the smell. Oh man, that's so good.
Why does it taste like tuna?
Now,
That's tuna.
what you'll notice is that I've got a fourth piece. That is for the cameraman, because he cannot miss out. There you go, mate. Get that into you.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Just smell your fingers. Smell that.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm drawing the line there, Graham.
There you go, folks. If you're going bush,
It's all right.
make sure you pack some mutton with you. Take a real good smell.
No, I'm done.
It's all over with the camera.
He's still chewing. I gave it to him 10 minutes ago. You can just tuck that little bit in there. We'll tap that later. Anyway, let's get moving. We're still a good day's drive from the edge of the Simpson Desert, so today I've pinned a different spot to camp, and it's a place that has a bit of a special place in my heart. Here we go, famous Cooper's Creek. This far east, plenty of water in it all the time. So you got a bridge over it here. Further to the west, if you're going to come down the Birdsville track out of the Simpson Desert, you got to cross this again south of Mungarani. When I first came to the Simo, we'd finished up in Birdsville and I was heading home back to WA on my own in Shorty, my little short wheelbase GQ Patrol. Big floods, massive floods. The only way across the Cooper was to get into a little tiny barge. You sort of drove up onto a tinny on bits of wood, little outboard motor, it ferried you across and you got off on the other side. So the very first time I ever came to the Simo, I had to cross the Cooper in a barge. And that is something very, very few people will ever get to do because, of course, this part of the country only ever floods once every 20, 30 years. So you got to be lucky enough, A, to get it in flood, and B, to actually be out here to ever experience getting across the Cooper on the famous Cooper Creek barge. Can say I've done it. Very cool.
Cooper Creek offers something else that we're dead keen on, and that's a bunch of free camps south of the bridge. Before we hit camp though, we take the chance to load up on some firewood. Remember, firewood collection in this part of the world is in designated areas only. It's not just a free-for-all.
Little tip for you on these Maverick vans and the toolboxes on the front. They've got these tie-down areas back up here on the toolbox. It's fantastic for lashing down wood if you find it a long way from camp, you need to travel. Get some ratchet straps, put it through there, lay your wood on, ratchet strap your wood on top. But if you're only going a couple hundred metres to camp, camp's just up here for us. Open your toolboxes up, lay your wood up on top like this. The gas struts, more than strong enough to hold it. We're only going a couple hundred metres up there. It means you're not putting wood inside your canopy or somewhere you don't want it, but you also don't have to tie it down. Works great.
No, I'm strapping it. I'm strapping it. That's it. I don't trust it.
Strap it?
Yeah.
No.
Are you on Team Graham?
I think
Team
you
no
just
strap.
let the chips fall where they may.
This is a brand spanking new caravan, never seen dirt. I don't want to get any marks on.
The camping at Cooper Creek is one of those secrets that's not exactly well kept. And in the winter months, this place can be absolutely packed. But right now, there is literally not another person along the entire river. And that suits me just fine.
Look at this. This will be the perfect little campsite right on the banks of the river. $1 million views. Not a spot for Toyotas. You really want a good handbrake here. Look at that. Mama Giuseppe. Perfecto.
Our trip so far has been marked by one regular feature, and that's afternoon storms as the temperature drops around sunset. And today looks to be a big one.
Okey-dokey, lights, socket, pump. We are good to go. That weather has just come in. I think it's just that change between night and day when you get that weird difference in temperature. The wind has come up. I am not even slightly concerned, however, because I will sleep like an absolute bear in here tonight. We are about as remote as it gets in caravans. I mean, when you think about it, we'll be in Birdsville tomorrow with a bit of luck. And beyond Birdsville, no one takes vans. It's an unwritten rule. You just don't take vans out that way, for good reason too. So we really are out here about as remote as it gets in a van. It begs the question, what happens if something goes wrong to your van while you're out here? And let's face it, with any van, things do and will go wrong. You need to know that you're going to be covered. There's going to be help somewhere. You don't want to be taking this on a trailer back to wherever it is you bought it. You might have bought it on the other side of Australia. That's where Maverick comes in with their warranty option. You can get an extended warranty, and they have a network of authorised repairers all around Australia. So if you do find yourself in a bit of hot water, you really are only a phone call away from help, and a short distance to an authorised repairer gets you back on the road. And that's the thing, Maverick want to get you out and into remote spots in their vans. And I reckon that is pretty cool. A few of you last episode were asking where the heck are our yabby pots. But don't worry, we didn't forget to pack them. Oh, good depth! Tonight the local yabs are going to be munching down on some primo tinned cat food. Talk about atmospheric. We've got the darkest of dark clouds down here. There's a storm front obviously coming in, but it doesn't know from what direction, because over here we've got another one. It's kind of swirling around us. Weird. It's 39 degrees today, and now you could almost put a jumper on. It's got down to that cold. I reckon this is the only patch right here that it's not raining. Bucketing down over there, thunder and lightning over here.
Central Queensland. We've still got Big Red to go. Loving it. Freaking loving it. When you're on the road and camping every day, sometimes you got to have a cheat night. And this evening, we're all going potluck and pitching in something easy for dinner.
Oh, that looks good. Bit concerned about showing me quiche.
How much Tabasco are you putting? Oh, holy heck.
About that much.
That's the triple strength Tabasco.
Oh, well, now you tell me.
You guys have never been out here before, so I guess it's going to be hard for you to picture, but where we're camped right now, I almost guarantee you we wouldn't have got a spot. I'll grant you, today was a bit spicy. We got to 39, I think, today. Was it 39?
Yeah, she was pretty warm.
It was pretty warm. But it's only the shoulder season. I'm not talking about the low, that high season where you can't come in here because it's 45 and the nights are 30. This shoulder season, it's stunning now.
Run the gauntlet, you reckon?
I think look, for me, it's a worthwhile bet because I don't want to come out here after working as you guys do. You're doing your 5-6 days a week. You know, you've got your 4 weeks a year holiday. Why do you want to come out here and share it with 300 other people?
I completely agree.
Righto, tomorrow. What I'd like to do is take you guys out into the desert, camp out in the middle, the big stars, the big sky country, get a fire going. I'm going to cook you a meal that you won't forget in a hurry. Trust me. I don't think I will either. And then we'll come back in, pick up the vans, and I want to take you to a destination that everyone wants to go to.
I'm pretty bloody excited.
What I'm getting at here is you ain't seen nothing yet.
Getting to sleep tonight is going to be tough because tomorrow is a day that I've been looking forward to for months.
Right now, Kamak have got an exclusive deal just for you guys. You can get 20% off everything that is online, excluding sale products, of course. That is their entire range. So if you want to upgrade maybe your camp cooking gear, your camp chairs, even a washing machine, right now is the time to do it. All you got to do, use the code word OFFGRID20. You'll save yourself 20%, but it's only running until the 2nd of March. So get on board and fit that caravan out right now.
The sun gets up pretty early in this corner of the world, and so does the heat. It's going to be a fiery one today as we push out to the Simpson Desert.
Well, good morning, everyone, from our little caravan. Thought Tommy and I would give you guys a bit of an update on how van life's been going. Absolutely loving it so far, let me tell you. We woke up this morning to the most beautiful sunrise, like over this little river system here. And how good's this? Breaking in bed.
Yeah, you don't want a breakfast out there today.
Why's that?
The flies will literally carry off the face of the planet. That's for you.
Thank
Bit of
you.
Milo cereal, breakfast of champions.
I just popped down the river nice and early this morning and I was blown away by the bird life. Absolutely prolific bird life down here this morning. There still is a lot of birds. As that sun comes up though, they all sort of go into retreat. This time of year, they're starting to get a little bit of rain. So she's starting to fill up a little bit from the floodwaters north and everything's starting to come down to the river. Fantastic, including me, in order to try and catch yabbies. Funny story about that. I came down super early and because I'm inquisitive, I thought I'll just pull up a couple of traps and just see if we've got any. And we did. We had half a dozen yabbies. I thought, fantastic. I'll just leave them in the pot for when the cameraman gets up and gets ready to film. So I'll just place them back down like that. Pretty much exactly like that. As it turns out, that's all you need, that angle, for a yabby to crawl back out. And so I ended up with a total of exactly 0 for the cameraman. Now, I'm not sure that he believes me. I'm not sure that any of you will believe me. But that's my story and I'm sticking to it. It's a fisherman's tale and I'm allowed to stretch the truth a little bit. We did have yabbies, but I stuffed up. Anywho, let's move on.
When you're travelling in the off-season, it's important to be self-sufficient and, in particular, carry the right spares, as help and supplies can be a long way off.
Have a look at that. We've only been on the road about a week so far, but we've been in a convoy, so it is important to remember to pack spare filters, especially if you are going to be sitting behind your mates in the red dirt road.
We've seen so much life out here in the last couple of weeks because they've had quite a bit of rain, and that means rain is pooling on the side of the roads and there's a lot of green pick on the side. We're talking emus in profusion. There's wallabies, kangaroos, the amount of cattle that gets on those side of the roads because they don't fence the paddocks out here. You can't fence them, they're too big. So the cattle are just free to wander. At night, if you haven't got a decent set of spotties on front of your car, like these steadies right here, I just wouldn't want to be driving. You'd think to yourself that these alone would be enough on a modern vehicle. They're good, they are good, but The high beam on this fails when you put your spotlights on. It's worth nothing. So having a good set of spotties out here, if you do need to drive at night, is absolutely important. We're actually in the pub the other night, and one of the locals said, you guys doing any night driving out here, you're gonna wanna have spotties because there is that much cattle on the road at the moment. So yeah, steadies on front of the Y62, they're not just for looks, they're workhorses as well. There's a mounting air of excitement this morning as we pack up camp. Today, we're not only getting back on the gravel, but all being well, also gonna finally step onto the red sands of the Simo. And for what the conditions are gonna be like out there at this time of year, well, we just don't know. But I guarantee you, we'll be the only ones attempting it. First though, we've got a big old drive ahead of us. No fuel next 390 Ks.
Do you reckon the big Y62 is going to make it?
Ordinarily, I'd have a bit of a smart aleck comment for you right now, but the truth of the matter is there's some sort of dispute going on at the Windora service station, so that's closed. I didn't know about that. I'd factored Windora in. The honest answer, mate, it is going to be very touch and go.
Be interesting to see how you go, mate. We might be road training you.
I don't know, mate. It's going to come down to the last drop of fuel. Righto guys, here we go. That is the end of the blacktop and the beginning of our western adventure. Fair old way to go to get to Birdie, but by goodness you're in for a treat. The drive today is spectacular.
The final run to the Simo is one of those drives you'll never forget. I'm talking big skies, big Ks, and stunning landscapes. But things aren't quite so chilled down the back of the convoy.
Dude, the road's over here.
Don't tell me how to drive. You are now in the passenger seat, which means you have to sit there and you need to be quiet.
No, over here. Have you got any snacks?
I'm about to put you out the side of the road.
My name's Tommy and I drive a big F-250. It's like a limousine.
That's your best impression of me.
There's plenty to see and do on the drive today with some big lookouts to check out. Aboriginal rock art and, of course, Y62s refueling on the side of the road. At last, though, we make it close to the town of Birdsville, and the next phase of our mission gets underway.
Rightio, time has come. Just going to unhook the vans. Going to miss them, but we're going to head out into the desert for a night, show these guys the Simo, and then on the way back out, tackle an absolute iconic.
At last, after 1,600 Ks of outback roads, the first line of dunes that marks the eastern edge of the Simpson is finally on the horizon. The Simo is one of those places you just have to experience, at least once in your lifetime. The largest parallel sand dune desert on the planet. But right now, the desert is a different beast. The tourists are gone, the sand is dry and powder soft, and the heat, well, the heat will knock your socks off.
Righto, pretty extreme. Dropped down to 15 PSI. Don't normally go that low, but we're talking high 30s every day out here now, and that means these dunes have been given plenty of time to dry out. Plus, it's really windy at this time of year, which means that a lot of sand gets blown off the top of the dunes and back into the tracks, making them super soft. So I'm going to try 15. If need be, I'll go down. If I need to, I'll go down as low as 8 out here. But ordinarily, I'd be starting at about 20, 22. So that shows you the difference. I'm starting at 15.
Are you ready for the ride of your life?
Okay, you've had your fun. You drove with the caravan on. Now, can I please have my vehicle back?
Negative and Ghost Rider.
Man, come on, you're kidding me.
Let's go.
Alrighty. I've been looking forward to this for months. Simpson Desert, one of my favourite places in Australia. Isn't it strange how it just starts like this? Flat land all the way back there, and then boom, sand dune.
Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. There's these huge dunes just come through like, I don't know, like almost like a huge wave. It's pretty specky.
Welcome to your first dune. This is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. Welcome to your first one, mate. Wow, look at that. Never gets old. It never gets old. And of course, this time of year, I don't reckon we'll see a soul. We'll have the entire Simpson Desert to ourselves.
The eastern side of the Simo features some of the most impressive dunes in the desert. In winter, There's a fair bit of traffic up these lines, but the wind has long since blown the sand back over the ruts, and so we are going to be cutting fresh tracks the whole way.
Rightio, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't even know how to play this. I'm just going to have a crack and see if I get to the top. Otherwise, I'll come back down and I'll try plan B.
We'll be watching it in anticipation, mate. Good luck, get up.
Definitely going to need plan B, I can tell that. Hang on, first gear, I forgot this thing's got a lot of pointy.
Upper, Graham.
There you go. First sand dune of the Simpson Desert, conquered. Come on up.
All right, we've finished up with the towing for now. Time to change it out of the tow tune into one of our power tunes by switching this little dial here. And that's just gonna give us that extra bit of berries to get up these dunes and not get left behind by Graham.
The limousine is coming in hot. Are you ready?
No.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go. Come on, big F truck. Nice steady pace.
Here they come. I can hear that thing on rev limit from the bottom. Holy heck. It's quite confronting standing here.
Yeah, yep. That's good.
Easy.
Look at that view. Are you okay?
No challenge at all.
Tommy is holding on for dear life in here.
I'm white knuckling. I think I'm gonna throw up.
First sand dune conquered.
First one done and dusted, mate. She did it with ease.
Where are you? Can't see you over the door there.
It's freaking ridiculous, actually, just to show everyone the height. Look at this freaking thing. That's ludicrous. How'd you go?
Bloody good. Tom reckons he's about to throw up, but that was a lot of fun. I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go do 700 more of them.
All right,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'll just walk down the front of this thing. That thing is redonkulous. So many missions you can do in the Simo. There's so many different crossings and lines. You can do the Hay River north-south. You can QAA line, the French line. There's just endless possibilities out here. All of them big, you know, real bucket list trips. And for good reason. I freaking love Simpson Desert. For me though, a couple of years back, we attempted a west-east crossing of the Simo in old cars. Of course, I had the G60 patrol. Whoa, and a backfire.
Good drive, mate. Good drive.
So I want to go back to where we got turned around, or as close as we can get to it anyway. On the opposite side of where it was flooding when we came across a couple of years ago. We didn't get to complete the crossing. We got so close. We were within a couple of hours of Birdsville. We could almost see the pub. You could almost hear the tins cracking. But we didn't quite make it because of the flood. So the mission for today is just to head out into the desert, show Liv and Tommy what the desert's like, give them a taste, because I guarantee they'll be back. Camp the night. Got something special for camp tonight too. You'll have to wait for that. Camp the night, then head back in tomorrow, pick up the vans, head into Birdsville. You know, you get a lot of feral camels out through the Simpson as well. A lot of feral camels. For no reason I'm bringing that up. I just, wanted to plant a seed of camel in your mind. Keep your eye out. You might come across one.
Yeah, I feel like you were maybe hinting something there, Graham, but I'm excited.
Be good to get a little taste of camel, you know, just if we can see one from a distance or even get up closer. We'll see how we go. Anyway, let's keep going. Another sand dune coming up.
Another dune about to be smoked by the champion over here. Have a look at this just for a point of reference. The big old country, Queensland. Home is somewhere down around here, and this is where we're playing.
A full crossing of the Simo involves, get this, 1,136 dune crossings. I wonder who the heck counted all of those.
So I was thinking of bouncing across those swales then. How does performance tours work? Let's just say, for example, I come into you guys and say, I'm going to be towing a caravan around Australia. Where do you come in there? What's the go?
Yeah, ultimately, mate, there's a heap of different makes and models and a heap of different things to suit people's needs. So, and our packages generally start as preventatives or disaster prevention kits, and then from there we've got our performance upgrades. These trucks are really capable. For example, the one we're driving now is sitting in the range of 500 horsepower and around 1500 newton meters. So realistically speaking, towing that Maverick caravan has been a breeze. It's probably overkill for the job, to be fair.
I've got some plans coming up that's going to shock a few people. I might drop in and see you guys and we can discuss some stuff. Speaking of overkill, we are not far from camp Couple of big dunes to go. Let's get through them.
Generally considered more challenging when driven from east to west due to sand blowing up the eastern dune faces, the desert features a gatekeeper about 50 k's into the journey, but it is not what you'd expect.
This is the famous Air Creek. Now, it's hard to believe on a day like today when we're nudging 40 odd degrees, 42 degrees, but this is the gatekeeper for anyone coming across the Simpson Desert when there's been a rain event. Now, it used to be pretty rare. These days we're seeing it more and more commonly. Last year we had quite a big rain event. This was not passable, couldn't get across it. Now, in 2010, nearly 15 years ago, I managed to cross the desert from Mount Dare to Birdsville, right on the edge of a flood zone. So it hadn't quite come all the way down yet. We made it this far and Lake Eyre was chock-a-block. Again, look at it. Hard to believe. There's two crossings, this one here, there's another one further up. The one further up is deeper, but it's much shorter in length. So we attempted that. The water was well over bonnet height and everyone had to winch through. I've never seen anything like it before and I'll never see anything like it again. Air Creek in flood is a sight to behold, because to look at it today, you'd wonder where on earth it comes from. There's no way this could ever flood, but trust me, it'll actually stop you doing the Simpson Desert for no other reason than in the middle of the desert, too much water.
For now though, it's time to turn our thoughts to my favourite part of any Simpson journey, and that's finding a desert camp for the night.
I actually spotted this from the dune behind us. Down here on our left, yeah, that looks perfect. So what you get in between the dunes are these clay pans, for want of a different description, and they're usually really large and they're very, very flat. So they make perfect campsites. Look at this one, what a cracker! An absolute cracker!
It might be a year later, but it feels good to finally close the book on the final Ks on my last crossing attempt, and more importantly, find myself on the same side of the air as the Birdsville Hotel for once. We haven't seen a soul all day, and with the Simo soon heading into a seasonal closure, it's safe to say we could be the only people camped in this entire desert tonight. And yeah, it feels as good as it looks.
Well, have a look at this, will you? Shoulder season, I've been saying it quite a bit. With that comes a risk. Today, we did face one of those risks. It was, according to two vehicles that have thermometers, can't make this up, I actually took a photo of it. Today got to 44 degrees. So let's just say she was pretty spicy. So when you are out in the shoulder seasons, it's what I've been sort of getting at, you've got to be prepared for things to get a little bit. But now, it is now 10 to 7. Sun's just dipping below the horizon. Things are cooled down. And I'm going to cook something tonight that I think is fitting for a Simpson Desert meal. However, at the same time, is the complete wrong meal to be eating out here on probably a 30-degree night. Let's just see how it goes, eh? Gee whiz, I don't know what's just happened, but the sun's gone down. We haven't seen a fly all day, and all of a sudden, they've come out. I think it was too hot for flies today. Now look, in planning this trip, I wanted to cook something special, momentous, something that's going to be a memory for all involved. What signifies the Simpson Desert? I guess it's cooking on the fire, camp ovens, you know, big barbecues, that kind of thing, a roast dinner, a lamb. I wanted to go deeper. What lives in the Simpson Desert that I can eat? Turns out not much, legally anyway. And then I came upon it. Tonight, we're eating a camel's hump. How do you cook a camel? You can roast him, too big for us. Let's do a camel curry. What I didn't really think about was the fact that it was going to be like 32 degrees overnight and 44 by day. That's okay, that's okay. Curries are one of those things where you can go to the nth degree. You can make your own spices. You can take a day to make it. Or you can do like I'm about to do, just add a whole heap of packet mixes, a couple of flies, and a camel's hump. It'll be superb. Geez, the flies, holy heck. They're going to steal my camel. You know what, I'm giving up. They can just have a little bit. They're only tiny, they don't take much. To be fair, I've never actually cooked a camel before. But I mean, how different's a camel to a cow? If you were to push a camel down and then go like that, it would be a cow. So I was going to braise this off first and foremost. Not cook it, just braise it off.
Let's pop it down here so the flies, which are going absolutely nuts, go to bed. What time do flies go to bed? Righto, kids, we're going to add some spices here. Problem I've got with the Camel, it arrived to me frozen. I put it in the fridge for 5 days and it defrosted. Then we got concerned about it, so I froze it again. Next, we're going to put some curry powder in. That's the extra hot curry powder, by the way. Whack a bit of veggie in there. People say, well, you do the Vegemite, you don't put Vegemite in. Yes, Vegemite is the most amazing base flavour. It's like a layer of flavour that just you can build upon. It's like the concrete, the foundation, what you build houses on. As I said before, when it comes to curries, you can go the whole hog. You can prepare them days in advance, make your own spices, put them in there and boil them up and cook them and fry them and make that aromatic goodness, but I'm not doing that. Why? Because we're in the middle of the bloody Simpson Desert. So I'm going to go with a store-bought one. It's got quite a kick to it. Tommy, get used to that because that's what it could look like tomorrow, mate. I bought 2 because why not? We're going to put some canned tomatoes in too. Those tomatoes have been in this canopy for 3 years. My potatoes have gone slightly green, but I think that's okay. They're cut up rustic. I'm now going to put the lid on and I might use your fire just to keep it going.
I'm counting on you, Graham.
It smells a bit weird. I don't know. It's got a weird edge to it, like a...
No comment there. No comment. All right.
Could actually be me. Been very, very hot today. Been very hot today. With the curry bubbling angrily away on the coals, Tommy jumps on some appetizers to line our stomachs and gets some rice on. But I got to be honest, folks, I got a feeling this time I might have gone a bit too far. Oh my God. We're in trouble, Dawes. We're in trouble.
How much coconut milk did you put in it?
None by the looks of it.
0.
That colour
0.
is so red, Graham.
Okay,
Oh, my Lord.
let's just have a go, shall we? Go over the top. I don't want to spill this on my car. It'll take the paint off.
I think I might just have rice.
Nope. You're getting a big old helping of the Vindaloo.
My goodness.
I'm going to try a piece of Camel first.
Cheers.
Oh, man, the Camel is...
It's very tender.
Oh, it's tender as heck.
It's very tender.
It's got some flavour. Do you like spicy things? Because that is going to put your shovel to work tomorrow, my boy. Holy! Holy! You only got to be in it for one and you're in it for all.
It's still creeping up.
The flavour's there. The Camel's tender.
It's like a flood. It's like flood waters. It was okay to start with, but now there's...
That's good. Well, that, folks, is a taste of the desert.
It's really
We
tender.
had a pretty spicy day today. Finished with a spicy meal, and tomorrow we get a spicy sandhill. Big Red.
Mate, with me driving, you won't have to worry
You're
about
driving
thing.
tomorrow, are you?
I'm going to drive.
You're going to do Big Red?
I'm claiming that.
I am frothing for this. If it looks good to you folks at home, it's because it is. This is giving my voice box some troubles. Tomorrow's another day. Big Red, Birdie Pub, Simpson Desert. It never fails to deliver.
I'm still sweating.
You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You right?
Yeah, no, it's good.
G'day folks, probably wondering what I'm doing standing on this very famous stretch of beach. Well, I'll say this, it's a bit of a hint as to where we might be going next on Off Grid. For now, you folks have been loving all the photography and camera tips on Off Grid, so what if you're starting to get a bit serious and you want to upgrade from your phone to a real camera? Give you a few tips to look for. First and foremost, you want something nice and small, compact, easy to carry around, and more importantly, super easy to use. You don't want to be tempted to go back to your phone because everything's manual with dials and you're not learning. So make sure whatever you're looking for, small, lightweight, easy to use. Next, make sure the sensor in the camera is significantly bigger than the one in your phone. That allows you to get better quality, way better in low light situations, and you will see significant improvement in your photography and your video work when the sensor is bigger than the one in your phone. Next up, make sure you get something that's got the ability to have interchangeable lenses. You can start with a kit lens, but you might want to grab something that's more zoomy later on, or you might want to get really nerdy and get a prime lens. Look that up. And of course, a lot of you guys are into vlogging your videos or reels. In that sense, you're going to want something that can shoot high quality. This one here, of course, 4K. And also, it's super handy if you've got a really good built-in microphone to start with, so you don't have to go and get yourself external mics. Really important that your audio quality is just as good as the video quality. This little camera right here is the ZV-E10 from Sony, and it ticks all of those boxes. George's cameras have got a ridiculous deal on this right now. You can save $810. You see, This on its own, the camera on its own, is $1,449, but they are doing it for $999. Plus you're saving an added $360 on some bonuses that Sony are throwing in. You're getting a bag for your whole kit, a Sony hand grip, and of course, you're gonna need an SD card. 128 gig SD card is being thrown in as well, folks. This is not gonna last at this price. $810 savings. Go to the George's Cameras website and use the code 4WD247 at checkout. Happy snapping. It's been around 10 days since we said goodbye to Kinkuna Beach, all the way down at the coast in Bundy. And today, we take on the final leg of our journey. Well, there are few scenes in Australia as pretty as the Simpson Desert first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Stunning. I keep saying it, say it again, we're here in the shoulder season. In fact, the desert is about to be closed in exactly, 6 days now. Should be shut off for the next 4 months. I used to be a bit opinionated about that. I used to sort of think, my right to go out there. If I want to go out there in February, I should be allowed to, but it's not about that. Even on the shoulder season that we're in now, where, like I say, 6 days from it being closed, it's pretty radical. Last night, the heat, the build-up of heat in the rooftop tent, in the vehicles, on the ground, didn't dissipate. The whole night was, there's no other word to describe it, hot. We're comfortable, and we're doing it, and we're thoroughly enjoying it, but it's unimaginable what it would be like with those compounded days of 40, 45, 50 degrees in February. It would be, I just don't think you could do it. I would argue that we'd be the only one in the desert right now. And if you get yourself broken down out there, you're either going to perish if you haven't got the right supplies or a sat phone, or you've now got to put someone else's life in danger to come and get you in the middle of the Simpson Desert. So no, I've changed my tune on it. I think it's a good call. I think the Simo should be closed during the summer months. Mid-year though, lovely, spectacular. Shoulder seasons, for certain people, probably the best time of year to be out here. It's a little bit bittersweet packing up camp today, knowing that we're so close to the finish. But we couldn't be more happy with how the rigs have held up so far. Better than us, in some cases. It's a bit of a rough old morning this morning. Everyone is seeking shade. Flies are out. Show you something a little bit humorous. Have a go at this. Look at the canker on it. The old frozen pea trick.
Oh, yeah.
Those peas are not for the faint of heart. Look at those things. They're called foot peas. Have a look at this thing. Watch this when you open the door. Made for midgets.
Look at this, it's Graham suitable. The pedals are just out for you.
Gotta be kidding me.
If I just push this. All the way up, all the way forward.
That's actually a really good seating position for me. I like that it's very, very adjustable. It's like the Swiss Army knife of cars. One thing that hasn't changed though, up the back here, and you can see our MITS canopy can fit on just about anything. Very similar setup to mine. 2 drawers in the back here. Batteries are down the side there, power modules and everything else up there. I've got the same drawer up there. Where mine differs is in this one here. Now this is where you keep your dogs, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is a dog box. So you've got this plate over the top, that comes off.
And they can stick their snouts out.
2 Sirocco fans mounted up in there. So
It's got a fan.
yeah, we've got temperature sensors and everything you need so we know what's going on.
Temperature sensors for the dogs in the dog box.
Yeah, well, you gotta look after your fluffers.
On the back we've got spare tyre, ladder, 2 jerry cans. What I like down here is he's got his jack mounted underneath. Something I might have to think about moving forward, as I've got mine in a bit of a difficult position. Have a go at that. I can't even see what's in there. It's a big dog. It is a big dog. I'd need a stepladder everywhere I go. But I think it's just testament to what MITS can do. If MITS can put dual canopies, rooftop tent, the whole lot on the back of an F-truck, they can put it on just about anything. Way to rock and roll. I reckon we get packed up. I'm starting to dry out. Let's get on the road. So our plan for today, of course, is we've got to get out of here, and that means conquering Big Red. Pick up the vans, couple of little bits and pieces I want to show you before we hit the iconic town of Birdsville. I mean, it's on the bucket list of pretty much every four-wheel driver in Australia. And I think there'd be no more fitting a place to finish this trip than to pour ourselves something cold and belly up to the bar at the Birdsville Hotel with a beer.
Yes.
That sounds pretty bloody good on our end, mate. Very, very excited to see Birdsville and, yeah, try and tackle Big Red in the big rig. I think Tom might actually get out and walk, to be honest. But, yeah, it's going to be a good day, I reckon.
Both the Forbies have been eating up the desert so far, but there's been some sand movement overnight that gives an indication on what is facing us ahead on the Simo's most famous sand dune. Have a look at this phenomenon here. We came over this sand dune yesterday. You can see our tracks down there in the swale. Can't see them up here. And look at this. There's a foot of sand has built up overnight where we drove through yesterday. You can just see here our tracks coming through here. So from there up to there, that's all new sand that's arrived overnight. You don't see that in the busy times of year because, of course, constant flow of traffic. More than that, though, how much sand has shifted up here? Look at it. And if you want to have a bit of a demonstration on how the Simpson Desert works and how these sand dunes form, all you need to do is have a look at this brand new sand up on top here, and what you get is a mini Simpson Desert up on top. All the new sand dunes formed across there. You look way over in the distance, that's Big Red, and that too has got new sand built up right on top. It's going to make it challenging. Now look, if there's one four-wheel drive challenge in Outback Australia that every four-wheel driver wants to conquer, it's got to be Big Red. It's not just its size that makes it so formidable. The real challenge is that lip at the top, and it looks like no one's managed to break through it in quite some time.
Whew, that looks daunting, I won't lie. It didn't look so bad as we were driving across the clay pan, but now that I'm sitting at the bottom of it, that sand lip at the top looks like a vertical wall.
Yeah, mate, it's looking a little bit intimidating, I'm not going to lie.
What I'll do is I'll give it a couple of shots to feel it out, and then we'll go send town.
Yeah, I'm glad you're going first, mate. Good luck.
That's what I was going to say.
Righto. Second gear. First of all, the problem with Big Red is you've got these whoop-de-doos at the beginning. Make it quite difficult. Then when you get into it, it's not so bad.
Look at the fishtails. Oh, that looks soft.
I think it's doable.
Was that just your test run, was it?
Yeah, I just wanted to see how much sand was needed.
And what's the consensus?
There's a fair degree of sand required.
Yeah, copy that, mate. So all of the sand and a bit of courage and we'll be right, you reckon?
Or something's going to happen.
If we need courage, I'm out of here. That's it. In the passenger seat, I'm water. I'm stressed.
Shall we give it another go?
Yeah, get up it, son. Got it. Oh, he's giving it some jandle early on. Here we go. Go, Graham, go! Oh, yeah!
Yeah, it's definitely doable. You just got to watch your throttle control. Just don't give it the bunty over the top. Otherwise, you'll end up on the other side of the dune.
I was gonna say, I thought you were about to jump it then. That was wild.
No, backed off at the top just enough to get me over. But, it's actually a lot harder than it looks.
Tom is stressing. Wish us luck, mate. And we're going to be fine. You're in good hands, baby.
You guys are up. Big F truck, Big Red. Let's go send mode.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we're ready, I think.
The confidence in your voice. I love it.
I'm actually a bit nervous for this one.
You're nervous.
Okay, here we go. Bit of sand.
Holy heck. He's winding her up from Popel's corner.
Here we go.
Don't run, Graham.
Here it comes. Actually, I'm going to get out of the way.
Oh, she's soft. We're fishtailing. Oh, here comes the leak. Oh, yes, we did it!
Showered Graham in sand. Well
Thanks
played.
for coming.
Well driven. We survived.
We did. We survived.
The amount of sand you kicked up coming over that lip. Holy balls, man.
Mate, we made it. I was actually a little bit nervous down the bottom there, but the F-truck bloody did it.
You were nervous. Your nerves don't even come into it.
You backed off just before you hit the top.
I did.
Like, don't back off! Don't stop there!
I'm so sweaty. Honestly, I'm dripping.
It's actually so intimidating coming up and just seeing that wall of sand in front of you. You're like, oh God, and then you gotta commit.
Yeah,
it's all about commitment.
Yeah, but not too much, because you don't want to end up over here somewhere.
That's true.
It's a delicate balancing act, and we have balanced.
Woo!
Well done, team.
Bloody oath.
Big red Concord, big F truck. Let's go to the big beer. You'll notice down here I'm running bash plates. Of course, I'm running those on what is essentially a touring vehicle, so you're probably wondering, well, why would you bother running full-length bash plates when you're not going to go and do hardcore tracks like Coffs Harbour? Well, the fact of the matter is there's a lot of delicate componentry underneath a modern vehicle. All of it is very much required, and it takes virtually nothing just to stick a rock at high speeds on gravel roads. That happens all the time, to come up, knock something off, and it could cost you the vehicle. Now, for a set of bash plates, especially these ones here from Custom Off-Road, fantastic set of bash plates. They model specific, super easy to put on. It's just cheap insurance. It means you can come out here touring, you don't have to worry about anything doing damage under your vehicle. That, in my mind, is as important as a bull bar.
With the vans hooked up, it's time to make our way to the iconic town of Birdsville. But first, after a pretty hot night in the desert, I've got a bit of a treat lined up for the crew.
Oi, after surviving 40+ degree temps in the desert and my Vindaloo, what would you say if I said there's potential for a swim?
Mate, I'd be pretty bloody excited. But we're out here literally in the middle of the desert, I guess. Where are we going to go swimming at?
Yeah, right, probably not going to happen. Just getting your hopes up.
Typical stitch up.
It's going to happen.
Yep, it's hard to believe, but just outside Birdsville is a spot called Pelican Point, and a billabong just calling out for a swim.
Look at this! Have a go at it. It's bloody stunning.
Who put this here? Brett, aren't we in the desert?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I was not actually expecting this much water to be here. When someone said creek, I was thinking like...
No, this is a fair body of water. Like, you're not swimming across that.
Don't get me wrong, I like the water, but I'm a little bit disappointed. It's called Pelican Point.
Not one pelican is pointing.
I can see a pelican.
Ooh, it's not hot.
It's definitely not hot, but I am loving this.
Ooh, shrivelage.
Hey,
Go, Tommy.
calm down, children.
Have I got everything in my pockets? No. I need to get into my own toilet. No time. I can't stand cold water. Oh, my
Go, son, go.
I need to go on my own time, he says.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know why you bothered taking your hat off. It went under the water anyway, Graham.
Tastes like a chocolate milkshake.
You know what they say? Wear the hat.
Ride the cowboy. Let's go.
Go on up.
The body's so nice. Oh, that's next level.
Ooh, what was that? Something touched me. Speaking of water, I reckon it's about time we find ourselves a watering hole of a different kind. And I've got just the answer. The little town of Birdsville just oozes adventure, and it marks both the start of many Simo adventures or the well-deserved end of the road for travellers coming back the other way. But there's one place that makes this town so special, and it's just up ahead.
There she is, the iconic Birdsville Hotel. It must be on everyone's bucket list to have a beer here, and I know for a fact this is up there as being one of my most favourite pubs in the whole of Australia. Just getting to Birdsville alone, no matter where you're coming from, it's always a mission. And so to be able to pull into the pub and have a cold beverage, yeah, as good as it sounds.
The Birdie Hotel is a pub that's so much more than the sum of its parts. Every person you meet here is on an adventure, and the walls of the pub carry the history, not only of the town and the community around it, but also the many travellers that have passed through since 1884. It's survived fires and floods, and today is managed by an absolute legend, our good mate Ben, who runs the pub and the bakery, drives the local ambulance, and even offers a recovery service that'll tow you back to the hotel from anywhere in the desert if you hit vehicle trouble. You owe it to yourself to come out here and experience this place for yourself. And for us, it's the perfect way to wrap up a trip that has been just so damn fun.
We have ice.
We have ice. The Cankle is looking better.
It is.
We've
Bit of,
also got beers.
bit of beer, bit of ice, we're right.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate.
I don't know about you guys, but Bundy to Birdsville, it sounds, rolls off the tongue. Trust me when I say, it's a bloody long way. A lot further than I thought it would be. But we've made it. Birdsville, sun's going down. And here's the thing. We're here on shoulder season, which means the desert closes in what, a week? Just under a week?
Yeah, about that.
We've had the whole desert to ourselves. That doesn't happen unless you get out here on shoulder seasons, folks. It's not the most comfortable. What did it get down to last night?
Oh,
It was still low 40s, high
yeah,
30s.
yeah, at
It was
least.
spicy.
I slept with a wet towel on me, but we had the whole place to ourselves. Birdsville's ours, the pub's ours. This is what you get when you come out on shoulder season, folks. Cheers to you two.
Cheers,
Thank you
mate.
so much for coming along.
Thanks, it's been an experience.
I hope that fixes itself pretty soon. Come on another off grid with me, please.
Oh, anytime, mate. You just
Thoroughly
give us a
enjoyed it.
call, let us know.
We'll catch you folks next time, and I hope it's during shoulder season. Catch you soon.
See ya.